Alright, here's a video that I know several people have been overly gleefully anticipating for a while now, and they finally got me hooked on the Bugmens. This is the Kamen Rider Fourze DX driver. This is the belt that gives Kamen Rider Fourze his powers. I fought off the Kamen Rider bug for a long time. And it's easy to say, like, oh, I shake my fist at Vangelis for doing this. And it really was, like, this was something that was not specifically Vangelis. Like, I can shake my fist at Vangelis for Glyos, because I would not have gotten any of those had he not specifically said, here, play with some at TFCon. But he was selling Gaia memories at TFCon. And I was like, I don't know. He was really selling them hard, like, explaining to me what they did and all this stuff. But, and part of me almost bought one from him just to say, all right, fine, guys, look, I have a piece of Kamen Rider stuff, leave me alone about it. But then I knew if I bought it, I would end up liking it, or at least, oh, well, now that I have this, I might as well figure out what it is. Oh, hey, that sounds pretty cool, and I would get sucked into it. This was actually just a lot of people were talking about the new episode of Fourze. It's a new series that just started, which is really, I think, is what I needed to give me that last little kick into it, because every time people would try to get me into it before, and it would always be like 20 episodes into the current series, and I'd be like, I just don't want to go back and have to catch up on 20 episodes, and so coming in on Fourze on the first episode really kind of gave me that ground level. I can get into this without too much hassle. Now, I will say, now that I have done so, I now have all 49 episodes of Kamen Rider W on my iPad that I'm going to start watching. I have watched the first episode of O's, and I have all 48 episodes of O's on my iPad ready to watch. I can't wait for to download. As soon as I get done here, I'm probably going to be able to watch the new Fourze episode 3 that came out this week. So I've fallen pretty hard into the Bugmens. I've got this. I've got the Fourze module chain system figure, which comes with his first 4 power-up grades figure on the way. I've got an extra set of these switches because I didn't realize the driver actually came with the first 4 switches. I've got the O's driver on the way, along with the metal case and every metal. Thanks to Autobot Blaster on TFW for hooking me up with that. I've got the Tatoba form figure arts Kamen Rider O's on the way, along with I've got the one with the pack-in Ankh, as well as I got the standalone Ankh with the better paint apps, but mostly I've got the one with the pack-in Ankh, because it was Tatoba, and it was only like $5 extra over the regular Tatoba to get the one with the Ankh, and apparently he's got a nicer stand, so I can use with the by itself Ankh. Anyway, so yeah, I've fallen pretty hard on the Bugmens, the Kamen Riders, the thingamajiggers. I'm seriously looking at picking up the double driver, but we'll see. And there's a couple other forms of O's I want to pick up. There's more switches coming out I need to get. There's still Burger Droid, Burger Meal, and all that stuff. So I've kind of fallen pretty hard. This, however, anyway, that's the backstory for why I am doing this review all of a sudden. I did kind of suddenly fall into it. This is the Fourze driver. It does come with the 2 belt halves that are way too small to fit on anybody my size, or really any normal adult. I mean, like, it's tiny. I can get this on my daughter, but she doesn't want to wear it. I try to get a picture of her wearing it. She loves to play with it, but she won't wear it for some reason. But anyway, you just hook them onto the back here. You just squeeze these buttons to make those little tabs go, and you just pop them right in. I'll show off the class system, but yeah, you just push these in, clip it in, snaps right into place. And then the clip system itself, you just bring this around, basically. I usually store it with everything. I usually store it all the way tight, just because it takes up less room. But you just plug those pegs in there, push this down, and slide this through here. Yeah, and there it is. I usually set it right there just to hold the belt down, but there's the belt loop closed. Like, here's my, oops, there we go. Here's my hand in there, just to give you an idea of just how small of a belt loop this is if you pull it all the way tight. It's not made for big people or Americans, really. But yeah. So onto the driver itself. These switches are already down. You shouldn't be. There's a little switch under here. It takes 3 AAA batteries. You turn this on, and it makes a power-up noise, and you see a little brief flash of Fourze's form there on the on the screen. And then you can play the switches. How his powers work. I'm sure if you're watching this, you've probably seen the show. But each Astro Switch gives him a different power. The circle switch, and you'll see the switch is kind of shaped like a circle, is his right arm power. The X switch, and again shaped like an X, is his right leg power. Triangle is left leg power, and square is left arm power. And there's different things. The first 4 switches that his base states, as they're called, are rocket, launcher, drill, and radar. And the radar can turn on to help him lock on the missiles. Rocket and drill have a really cool limit break, which we'll get into later, and all that stuff. So once you've got it turned on, it'll pop in and show you which limb you're powering up, as well as state the name of the switch, mostly accurately. Rocket. Now, launcher is the funniest one because you're plugging in launcher. He's trying to say launcher, but you'll hear what the belt actually says. Rancher. I don't know what ranchers have to do with missile launchers, but what do you know? Maybe sometimes the cows get unruly. Doril. Raider. It's supposed to be radar, but whatever. And that's that. Now the belt is ready for action. And basically, in the show, the belt isn't actually there. You just push this against your waist, and the belt would automatically wrap around you. At which point, you would activate your powers. HENSHIN! And it plays some music. But basically, it gives you a countdown. You pull the lever to transform, and then magically you're transformed. And then the lights for Fourze on the belt itself stay on. Now, it has a different voice as you activate each switch, and then whatever switch you activate will blink. So, rocket on. Launcher on. Then so there's all of them, all the power on combos. Now, one of the ones he used in the show, his first limit break, was the rocket plus drill, where basically he had a rocket arm and a drill leg, and he pointed the leg and the rocket at somebody and just kind of turned himself into a flying rocket drill, which was pretty cool to take out one of the monsters. So if you have the rocket on and the drill on, to activate a limit break, you just pull this lever forward. And you hear it say, rocket or drill, limit break. And then it makes a little noise simulating the drill rocket attack. Now, like I said, there's going to be something like 40 switches for this thing. And you can see, if you pull this off, each switch on the bottom, there's a... So you can show it. When you push the button down, it pops out that back tab, which is the activation noise. And then each switch has a separate place up here for a peg that activates a button in here. And if you look down in there, you can see that there's 5 buttons. So every switch will push down a different combination of buttons. Circle switches only fit in the circle slot. X switches only fit in the X slot. Triangle and square, obviously, the slots are actually shaped. You can see there's kind of a bow out here for where the circle to fit, a cross shape for the X to shape. So you can only power up certain limbs. You can't say, I want a rocket foot. That just doesn't work that way. But you can, however, let me see if I can find a pen real quick. Here we go. Just a pencil. You can, if you want, preview some of the later ones. We know that, this one pushes down the first slot here. You hear rocket. The switch that came, there was the Burakawani medals for O's came with the number 5 switch, which is an arm switch, which is the magic hand, which looks like a grapple claw from what I've seen in the pictures. And if you push the next switch back, magic hand. So you can kind of, if you want to cheat, you can go through and try all the various combinations of pushing down buttons and find out what some of the future switches are, since apparently it's all planned out and all the sounds are already in the driver itself. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, even though I can't wear it. I guess I could. I can get some belt extensions, but they're like $30 each, and I probably need 2 or 3 to put this thing on because the belts are so small and the extensions are so short. So yeah, but a neat little toy, a nice little introduction to Fourze for me. My daughter loves playing with it and pushing all the buttons. My wife has forbidden it to be turned on around her already, based on my daughter playing with it the other day. So success. I'm looking forward to the module change figure to get here. We'll see. Like I said, I've also got the O's driver coming, the Tatoba figure arts coming, as well as the Ankh figure arts and some more switches. So yeah, I kind of want to get the double driver. I think I mentioned that, but oh well. And then you can also, there's a power down noise for each switch as you flip it off. You can actually turn on a switch without having the power activated, and it'll do all the noise, and then it will stay blinking while the body fades away if you just turn on the switch without actually having all these switches down and transformed. And also, if you don't transform, it will give you a second chance. Like if you don't do it in enough time. And it waits, and it waits, and it waits, and oh, you missed your chance, but here's another countdown. So there is the Kamen Rider Fourze DX driver.